regularly scheduled programming will not be seen today in order to bring you this special presentation from Retro Sports Network. And good afternoon, my name is Ron Jeckett. Welcome to the program for this third day of August 2022. And it is with the heaviest of hearts that we do this game today. It is a tribute game to Vin Scully, the legendary, and I mean legendary, broadcaster for the Los Angeles Dodgers, and of course NBC's Game of the Week and CBS Radio for 1,000 years. The man did 25 World Series on radio and television, and of course called the Dodgers from 1950 when they were still in Brooklyn and still heavy in Brooklyn to 2016 when his last game at Dodger Stadium was a division clincher, and his last game ever was at Pac Bell, Oracle, whatever they call the ballpark in San Francisco now, against his childhood heroes, the now San Francisco Giants. I went with a game that is not on YouTube. You can watch Game 6 of the 86 World Series. You can watch Game 1 of the 88 World Series. His greatest calls are out there. It's tough when you're doing this for 67 years to find something that kind of encompasses all, like a Venn diagram, the three circles and have everything overlap. I thought about a game from the 55 season because that was the first Brooklyn Dodger World Championship. Instead, I went with something from a minor Monday night in 1962. We go back for this one for the first ever visit from the San Francisco Giants to Dodger Stadium. So Monday, May 21st, 1962. And Dodger Stadium is new. And, of course, the hated rivals are the San Francisco Giants. Scully said his favorite player that didn't wear a Dodger uniform was Willie Mays. So Mays is batting second in center field for this one. And, of course, on the mound for Los Angeles is Sandy Koufax. So, again, it kind of ticks all the boxes. And it wasn't televised in Los Angeles. Russ Hodges and Lon Simmons televised it back to San Francisco. But this game wasn't even on TV in LA. Imagine that today. And so if we can get through the next hour without shedding a few tears, your stories is what I want to hear. We're going to talk a lot about Vinny over the next hour or so. And tonight, on a channel I'm not sure yet, we'll pay tribute to Vinny's other sports by replaying the 1981 NFC Championship game between the San Francisco 49ers and the Dallas Cowboys. The catch game. But for now, let's go to Dodger Stadium. It is time for Dodger baseball. Another piece of our childhood is gone for sure. Yeah, so it'll be Koufax, who only threw 184 innings. He must have been hurt. He actually has a save. There was no such thing as a save in 1962. He made 26 starts through 184 innings, went 14-7, an earned run average of 254. Did not win the Cy Young Award. That one, his first would come in 63, the first of his three, along with 65 and 66. Sandy's all at 26 in 1962. Fastball pitcher at 94 and a fly ball pitcher. How you doing, Tribe fan? Here is the San Francisco Giant lineup. Harvey Keene in left field will lead off. Willie Mays batting second, really? In center field. Hiller at second will bat third. Orlando Cepeda cleans up at first. No McCovey. Mota is in right. He'll bat fifth. I think that's Manny. Bailey behind the plate goes sixth. Angel Pagan at short, batting seventh. Jim Davenport at third, batting eighth. And Billy Odell, a good pitcher in his own right, will bat ninth. He can throw about I think it should be Manny Mota, yeah. Odell should throw about 140 pitches. For the Dodgers, this was, of course, the Giants' World Series year. Tommy Davis is an 8 and a 6 in left for LA. Willie Davis, no relation, an 8 and a 7 in center. And Frank Howard, Hondo, was a 6 and a 5 in right. Jim Gilliam, a 4 at third. Maury Wills, this is the year he steals 100 bases, is a 10 at short. Burtright is a 7 at second. And Walls is a 2 at first. Johnny Roseborough behind the plate is a 9 and a 7. And Sandy Koufax is a 5 on the mound with a .905 fielding percentage. Sore arm for Koufax after logging a ton of innings in 61 for the first time. And, of course, the breakout season was 63. And hellos to Steelers Matt and Big Dave. Almost the same lineup the Giants used in your Mike McCormick replay, Tribe Fan of 67. So Harvey Keene steps in, and if you know your Vin Scully history, Harvey Keene was a 27th out of Sandy's perfect game in 1965. Harvey in 62 hit .304, 10 homers, and 68 RBI. The weather in Los Angeles is perfect. 76 degrees, winds left to right at 4 miles an hour. Koufax walked 57 in 62 while striking out 216. Sandy starts the ball game. A ground ball to Junior Gilliam, throws it over to Walls for the out, and that's how this one starts. 1 pitch, 1 out. And that brings up Willie Mays, who's hit .304 in 62, 49 homers, and drove in 141. Surprisingly enough, he was not the MVP in 1962 with those numbers. Oh, thank you, Matt. So this is really the irresistible force versus the immovable object. Pitch to Willie. There's a base hit into right center field. That's going to be extra bases. Willie Davis plays it off the wall, and Willie's got himself a double. Dirt Track Stefan, how are you? So here's Chuck Hiller, 276, 3 homers and 48 RBI. Sandy won this game in real life, by the way. Koufax steals, and there's a base hit into center field. Mays will round third. Davis throws it back in, and Willie will hold. So first and third and 1 out. Can't be a tribute game with the home team winning, right? For Orlando Cepeda, the Baby Bull at 306, 35 home runs and 114 RBI. Sandy's pitch into left field and well struck. Back goes Davis to the wall, and it's 3-0 San Francisco. Tribe Fan, we are doing the catch game tonight. I'm not sure where yet, but that's how important Scully was that he gets 2 games, which has not started out well for the Dodgers. And it is Manny Mota at 176 and 9 RBI. So Cepeda just slammed that pitch from Koufax, and there wasn't anything that Tommy Davis could do about it. So, Mr. Howard, this is the first game at Dodger Stadium between the Giants and the Dodgers, May 21st, 1962. So not a good start for Koufax. 1 out, and there's a 3 spot on the board for San Francisco. Ground ball to Maury. Wills throws to first for the 2nd out. Yep. So if you're not on my Retro Sports Network Facebook group, well, we're trying to figure this out, how we're going to do it. But there will be a football game tonight at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. The Catch. Here's Ed Bailey, Ed at 232, 17 homers and 45 RBI. No surprise why the Giants won the National League, I believe in a playoff over the Dodgers. Koufax's pitch into right. Frank Howard will make the catch, and that will retire the side. But Orlando Cepeda takes Stanley Koufax deep, half an inning in the books. 3 runs, 3 hits, no errors. 3-0 San Francisco. And so here is Billy O'Dell, who went 19-14 for the Giants in 1962. He's 30 years old, a fastball pitcher at 85 and a ground ball pitcher. He made 39 starts, did Digger, in 62. He went 19-14 with the 3.53 ERA. In 280 and 2/3 innings, he allowed 282 hits, 18 homers, walked 66, while striking out 195. And so, a good matchup in this opening tilt between the Giants and Dodgers to open up Dodger Stadium. Maury Wills will lead off for L.A. at short. Junior Gilliam at third will bat second. The Davises, it's Willie and Tommy, and I forget which order those are, in center and left. Frank Howard, no relation to D. Scott, in right, will bat fifth. Mr. Walls at first will bat sixth. Johnny Roseboro behind the plate will go seventh. Burright at second will go eighth, and Koufax, who threw 22 pitches in his half of the first, will bat ninth. Defensively for the Giants, Harvey Keene, a 5 and a 2 and left. Willie Mays, a 10 and an 8 in center, and Manny Mota, a 1 and a 7 in right. Jim Davenport, a 10 at third, Pagan, an 8 at short, Hiller, a 5 at second, Cepeda, who hit the 3-run homer in the top of the first, a 6 at first, Bailey, a 6 and a 3 behind the plate, and Billy O'Dell is an 8 on the mound with a .915 fielding percentage. Wills at .299, 6 homers and 48 RBI. And yep, he's going to square. Bunt is down, it's going to roll foul, and Maury's going to have to swing. Mr. Howard doing the Dodgers 62 replay and OOTP. So Maury hits a liner in the left center. Keene will pick it up. Wills will round first. And that's a single. So we'll wait for O'Dell to throw to first. Here's Jim Gilliam, .270, 4 homers and 43 RBI. O'Dell does throw to first. Wills, yep, is back. And now there goes. Oh, Maury can't get the jump. So he can't steal him this time around. Pitch was a ball upstairs, 1-0. Pitch to Gilliam. Ball 4. So the tying run is Willie Davis at .285, 21 homers, 85 RBI. So O'Dell in trouble here in the first. The Giants, a 3-run homer from Cepeda in the top of the inning. Pitch to Willie. There's a slow ground ball to O'Dell. Only play is to first, and Davis is out. On a bang-bang throw, 1 out. So second and third, 1 out for Tommy Davis. Tommy, .346, 27 home runs, and he drove in 153. That's astounding numbers. He's got a chance for 2 right here. O'Dell delivers, and there's a chopper to first. Cepeda is going to scamper to O'Dell for the out. Maury's going to score, and it's 3-1 San Francisco. So the Dodgers claw to get one back. Here's Frank Howard. Hondo at .296. 31 homers and 119 RBI. These two teams are loaded. O'Dell kicks and fires. Howard with a base hit in the left. Keene will pick it up. Gilliam will score, and the Dodgers have a 2-spot on the board. For Lee Walls at 266, no homers and 17 RBI. So Odell and Koufax, well, it's not a pitcher's duel right now. Pitch to Jim. Struck him out. Odell got him to swing and miss on a fastball. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors for L.A. We've played one at brand spanking new Dodger Stadium. It's the Giants 3, the Dodgers 2. And it's Jose Pagana Angel. Jose at 259, 7 homers and 57 RBI. Of course, now Dodger Stadium is at 1050 Vin Scully Way. Sandy starts the second with a pop-up fly ball center field. Davis, Willie that is, will make the catch, and there's 1 out. For Davenport, Jim at 297, 14 homers and 58 RBI. Again, I was talking with Mike from the truck a few moments ago, and you know what? There just is no one signature Vin Scully game. And if you do, like this Red Sox fan would ever do Game 6 of the 86 World Series. But if you do the Gibson game, yeah, Kirk didn't play in that game. Couldn't even walk. There's just so many choices. Davenport hits a ground ball to Burrow-Wright in front of the bag at second, over the walls, and that's 2 out. So an easier inning for Sandy, as he'll face Billy Odell, 133, no homers, and 6 RBI. 2 out here in the second. Struck him out. Sandy got him looking, and that's the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the second here at Dodger Stadium. It's the Giants 3, the Dodgers 2. So Roseboro, Burritt, and Koufax to face Odell here in the second. Johnny at 249, 7 homers and 55 RBI. Line drive, Moda, foul. Matt, by the way, and we'll keep it as much of a regular broadcast as possible, is setting up his 2,000th fight in the history of the Unified Boxing Federation. Oh, wow! Glory Days Boxing. I was going to ask you what you use for that, and on our Discord, so if you're a Patreon, you can see the picture of just... He's got this all in file folders. I was going to wonder what you were doing that in. Anthony's just beautiful game. The Gibson homer, of course, getting back to Vinny, and Sandy's Perfecto was published as a piece of poetry. 2-2 to Harvey Keene. Anyway, here's Roseboro. Johnny strikes out. He got him looking on a 1-2 curve. So here's Larry Burritt. I just love those early 60s helmets, don't you? They look like they just took them off a tank commander, spray painted them the color of the team, and stuck a logo on there. Larry at 205, 4 homers, and 30 RBI. Got him! So we watched a 1-2 fastball right down the middle for strike 3. And that'll bring up Koufax, and Sandy's not going to make the Hall of Fame for his hitting. Hitting .095, 2 homers and 5 RBI. 2 out here in the second. Koufax swings, ground ball to Davenport, over to Cepeda for the out. And that will retire the side. Dodgers go in order after 2, 3-2 San Francisco. So top of the lineup for the Giants here in the third. Keene, Mays, and Hiller. Sandy opening 9 on 33 pitches. 2 innings, 3 hits, the home run to Cepeda, which scored all 3 runs, and a strikeout. Ground ball to third. Gilliam over to Walls for the out. After NBC lost Game of the Week in '89, here's Willie Mays. He doubled and scored in the first. Scully went back to CBS Radio to call the World Series. CBS Television got the package, of course, and Jack Buck was named the primary announcer when Brent Musburger was fired. So there was an opening for Scully on the radio side. And Scully did it through the '97 season, I think, or whenever ESPN took over the baseball contract. ESPN invited Scully to call it, and Vin declined. And so the moments that you don't necessarily know Scully for, he obviously did a magnificent job. Kirby Puckett's game-saving catch in Game 6 of the '91 series and his home run in Game 6 of the '91 series. The Toronto Blue Jays, by the way, tweeted their condolences and played the clip of Joe Carter winning that World Series, hitting the home run on a 2-1 pitch that Mitch Williams hung. And it is vintage Scully. Pitch to Mays. There's a liner in the left. That's going to drop in front of Tommy Davis. Bounces to the wall, and Willie has the second double of the game. So here's Chuck Hiller. Chuck singled and scored his first time up. 4th hit off of Koufax. Little number to first. Walls will pick it up. Joe to the bag and for the out. So Mays goes to third. 2 out for Cepeda, who hit that 3-run bomb down the line and left. So Koufax has scuffled. I've never gotten Sandy to pitch well. I'm sure those of you who have done Dodger replays and such have gotten Koufax to perform well, but in a one-off like this, Sandy usually struggles. Got him this time. He got one in there at the knees, and that's the side. No runs are hit. The Giants leave a runner on. Bottom 3. 3-2, San Francisco. The Tom Cheek call, as Tribe fan says, and Tom Cheek got his start in Rutland, Vermont, is classic. Touch 'em all, Joe. You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life. And Tom is no longer with us. But it is vintage Scully. Here's Maury Wills. Maury singled and scored in the first. Odell's opening 9, 35 pitches. 2 innings, 2 hits, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. And Maury will swing. Ground ball to short. Pagan has it. Has to hurry because Maury has afterburners. And he's out. Brings up Gilliam. Jim walked and scored in the first. Pitch to Gilliam. Fly ball, left field. Harvey Keene coming in. And will make the catch. A great diving catch, as a matter of fact, on the grass. So 2 out, and some added vegetable dye for Keene on his pants. Here's Willie Davis. He's 0 for 1. Davis into left center. Mays rides the Schwinn, and Willie will make the catch. And that will retire the side. A basket catch, of course, from Willie Mays. How about that? No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the 4th. It's 3-2 San Francisco. Midlife crisis. I mostly will always remember Game of the Week. It was the only baseball, except for the Sunday local broadcast, that you could watch as a kid. It was right a passage to sit in the front of the TV on Saturdays listening to Vin's voice while rolling Strat. Here's Manny Moda. Manny is 0 for 1. As a kid in the small town of Pulteney, Vermont, in the mid-'80s, it was a welcoming relief as someone who was kind of bullied as a child to sit there and listen to Uncle Vin and Joe tell stories, and they didn't know who you were, obviously, and just made you feel quite welcome throughout the whole afternoon. And again, we had cable, so we had our share of Met and Braves games and eventually Cubs games. But especially in American League, we did not get one of those channels. So we didn't get PIX out in New York, so no Yankee games. But anything, it was a treat. In fact, it was such a weapon for my mother for me to behave that would be a punishment. You don't do this, you can't watch Vin on Saturday. Pitch to Mota. Manny draws the walk. First walk from Koufax, a full count curve that is missed low. So here's Ed Bailey. Ed is 0 for 1. It was such a difference for Vinny. Pitch to Bailey. There's a chopper foul, first base side. Walls will pick it up, but it's foul. Of course, all those years in Los Angeles, he would work alone. Him and Jerry would alternate between TV and radio on the rare occasion the Dodgers were on television. In later years, I believe they would just do Sunday road games. Someone would have to tell me when they started to do Sunday home games. That, and of course, Vin worked with the chatterbox, Joe Garagiola. Pitch to Bailey. Popped up, right side, Walls. And Joe will reach in the dugout and make the catch. No, he won't. It bounced off by his glove, so the count remains 2-2. Yep, reason to get your Saturday chores done early. Mel Allen on This Week in Baseball with Game of the Week to follow, for sure. And so they weren't quite sure how it would work. Remember, Garagiola was the main play-by-play voice on Game of the Week for 6 seasons or 7 seasons. And they pretty much poached Scully from CBS. And so Joe really didn't defer to too many different people, asked Vinny what he wanted him to do. And Vin said, you talk to them and I'll just do the play-by-play. You wouldn't know if there was any tension between the two because they work so well together. Pitch to Bailey. Got him! 2-2 curve right in there at the knees for strike 3. So there's 1 out for Pagan, who's 0 for 1. Koufax winds. There's a ground ball foul. Mota was moving. That was a hit and run. Now a ball and a strike. There he goes again, and another hit and run, and Gilliam gives chase. Third base side, and that will hit the top of the dugout and bounce into seats. And somebody from San Pedro made that grab. Count is a ball and 2 strikes. Well, they're going to do it again. Nope, Mota is back. 1-2 the count. 1 out, top the 4th. Popped up, left side, Wills. Barry's there. 2 out. For Davenport, who's 0 for 1. When I lived in New Mexico, we actually had cable back in the late 70s. Koufax delivers to Jim. There's a base hit, so Davenport will be 1 for 2. Davis will throw it back in, and they're going to try for Mota at third. Willie's got a good arm to throw to Gilliam. Is out. They got him. And the Giants run themselves out of the inning. So, no standings to show you. It's a special. The Giants get a hit, leave a runner on. We go to the bottom of the 4th, 3-2, San Francisco. So Tommy Davis, Frank Howard, and Jim Walls. If you didn't broadcast hockey, then you can't be. You know what? let me finish my first story there, Pickle Rick boy. Davis has an RBI. He's 0 for 1. Odell got him. And 0-2. Called strike 3. These two teams are pretty even in 62. So, in the beginning of the Superstation era, 1979, they gave us 3. It was a big deal to get channels that weren't in El Paso, Texas. So we got TBS and Skip and Pete and Ernie and pretty much that for the Braves. Jack Brickhouse for the Cubs, of course, and Milo. No, Milo was still in Pittsburgh in 79, I think. And I think it was KTTV from LA. We got both KTTV and KTLA, which are the Angel games. And so the first time I really saw Vin do a Dodger game was 1980. John says, when I lived in South Texas, we didn't get the Rangers or the Astros. So Saturday game of the week was all you had. One of the El Paso stations picked up the Astros once a week. Pitch to Howard. Frank has hit this one into right center. That's a hit. Mays will pick it up. So 1 out. Here's Lee Walls. He struck out his first time up. Apparently, at one point, Vin did a basketball game. It was well after the fact that he was established as, a baseball first announcer. Pitch to Walls. Walked him. So first and second now. Howard on second. Walls on first for Roseboro. Johnny struck out. I don't remember who it was that he called, but they were amazed at someone who really had never called basketball did such a good job picking it up. Vinny, by the way, the year he retired, got a LA Kings jersey as a congratulations with the number 67 on it. One of the videos that they did, as he accepted gifts from a lot of different people, his last year in the booth. Pitch to Roseboro. Johnny draws the walk and they're loaded. So the Dodgers have a chance to tie this at least for Larry Burright. 1 out. He struck out his first time up. Koufax on deck. Pitch to Larry. Ground ball to third. That should score the run. Davenport's going to have to hurry. Burright is out, but the Dodgers have tied this game at 3. So here's Koufax. Sandy can be his own best friend right now. He had 6 singles in 62. And one right now would make it 5-3 Dodgers. Pitch to Sandy. Popped up. Bailey to the screen. And that is out of play. So the count to Koufax is 1-2. Odell's pitch. Sandy strikes out. That's not a huge surprise. He swung on and missed. But the Dodgers have tied this one up. 1 run, 1 hit. They leave on 2. No errors. We go to the 5th at Dodger Stadium. It's San Francisco 3, LA 3. So Odell, Keene, and Mays to face Koufax here in the 5th. Billy struck out his first time up as they do some yard work behind me. Pitch to Odell. Got him! A curveball swung on and missed. And that's the 4th for Koufax. So Sandy, his opening 18, 72 pitches, 4 in the 3rd innings, 5 hits. The 3-run homer from Cepeda in the 1st. He walked 1 and has struck out 4. Harvey Keene is 0 for 2. Scully almost left L.A. in 1964. Did you know that? Pitch to Keene. There's a ground ball to Walls. Joe to the bag. for the out. Mays has had himself an afternoon so far. He's doubled twice. He's 2 for 2. Koufax winds and deals, and Mays into left field. Davis is going to be there for the out. So 2 out. Oh, that's the side. How about that? So no runs, no hits, no errors. Halfway home in the first of 2 tribute games to Vinny today. It's the Dodgers 3, the Giants 3. And although when I hit the ad button, you won't get a Dodger ad or a Dodger dog ad, hopefully it's something that you might consider buying. Well, if you joined us late, here's how we got here. We go back to May 21st, 1962 for the first ever visit from the San Francisco Giants into Dodger Stadium. And Orlando Cepeda torched Sandy Koufax for a 3-run shot in the first. But the Dodgers have chipped away. Tommy Davis, a fielder's choice, in the bottom of the first to make it 3-1. Frank Hondo singled home Jim Gilliam to make it 3-2. And then in the fourth, Larry Burright hit a fielder's choice, a household name in his own house, to make it 3-3. So Odell, a 3-hitter through 4, has struck out 5, and Koufax through 5 has allowed 5 hits, while striking out 4. Odell, 74 pitches, as a matter of fact, through his opening 18, 4 innings, 3 hits, and 3 walks. Wills, 1 for 2 with a run scored. Yep, in Buffalo, you got KMOX and WLW. So, Marty and Joe for the Reds. Jack Buck, Mike Shannon, maybe Bob Starr at that point for the Cardinals. And, of course, 3WE in Cleveland. Herb Score. Maury 1 for 2. He swings, and there's a ground ball to third. Davenport makes the long throw to first for the out. Brings up Gilliam. Jr. has walked and scored. So at the end of the 1964 season, and only a handful of years removed from New York himself, the New York Yankees let Mel Allen go. And they wanted to hire Vin Scully. And Vin thought about it. He's from New York. A chance to go home. The Yankees are the legendary, the flagship franchise in Major League Baseball. And then he realized that he really liked Southern California and stayed. 38 states and half of Canada used to be 3WE slogan. Yep. Midlife crisis in the late 70s, living in north central. I'm assuming you meant to put a C there. You'd fall asleep listening to either the Dodger or A's games with Monty Moore on the transistor radio. Pitch to Gilliam. Jr. fouls it off. Bill King is the other voice I was trying to think of. Holy Toledo. 1-2 the count. Odell's pitch. Ground ball to third. Davenport scarfs it up, throws to first, and Gilliam is retired. Willie Davis up, 2 out, tie game. Willie's 0 for 2. Odell and Koufax working hard here on a beautiful night in Los Angeles. Ground ball to Pagan. Jose throws to first. And Davis will beat it out because Pagan's throw pulled Cepeda off the bag. And that's an error. Pennsylvania, you did mean that. IC Oils picked up the West Coast games late at night. Oh, isn't that cool? Here's Tommy Davis. Tommy 0 for 2 with an RBI and a strikeout. Davis is going to try and steal. The throw down to Hiller goes into center field. And Willie goes to third on the error by Bailey. So it's a stolen base and an error. And with 2 out and Tommy Davis at the plate, the Dodgers have the go-ahead run 90 feet away. Davis strikes out. Odell got him on the outside corner. So the Dodgers, no runs, no hits, and the 2 errors, doesn't score anything. They leave a runner on. We go to the 6th, 3-3. So it'll be Hiller, Cepeda, and Manny Mota to face Koufax here in the 6th. Chuck 1 for 2. A single, no run scored. Ground ball to Burright, and he's not going to get that play. That one played him. And so that's an error. And that'll bring up Cepeda, who hit the 3-run homer in the 1st. Orlando hit 35 on the real year. Koufax from the stretch. Got him. A 2-2 curve, swung on and missed. 1 out for Mota. It was 0 for 1 with a walk. Scotty could get the Dodger games in Central Washington back in the 60s. So heard the end of a lot of games. Games got longer in the fall. The Dodgers, for a long time, were on KFI 640, a 50,000 watt clear channel station. And the lower you are on the dial, the better the signal travels. Eventually they would move to 790 KABC, which at the time had a pretty good reach throughout Southern California, but was only a 5,000 watt station. Pitch to Mota. Manny pops it up. Roseboro to the screen. That's a rainmaker, but that's going to go foul. And we'll do it again. The count is full to Mota. Koufax gets his sign from the stretch, and there's a chopper to third. Gilliam isn't going to try for anybody. And it's now 1st and 2nd, 1 out. That's the 6th hit that Koufax has given up. Ed Bailey is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. So Koufax and Odell have had their defense not be their best friends today. Sandy's deal. There's a fly ball to right. Howard ranges over, and Frank will make the catch. Hiller and Mota go back. Hiller tags and goes to third. So runners on the corners, 2 out here in the 6th. Pagan is 0 for 2. So Sandy could use a strikeout right about now, or any sort of out. 3-3 the score here in the 6th. Koufax's pitch walked him. So Pagan will take the walk, a full count fastball that missed low and in. Jim Davenport 1 for 2. Jim has got himself a single. Jerry Royce tells the story. Koufax deals with the bases loaded. There's a ground ball base hit. Hiller will score. Mota will round third. Tommy Davis will throw it. Here comes the play at the plate, and Mota is in there. So Pagan moves to third, and it's 5-3 San Francisco for Billy Odell, who is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. So Koufax is pitching like I'm doing a tribute game on the wrong end of a 5-3 game. Those 2 runs, by the way, for Sandy are unearned. Pitch to Odell. Struck him out. That's 6 for Koufax. After 5.5, 2 runs, 2 hits, and the error is costly. 5-3 Giants. So Howard, Walls, and Roseboro do up for LA here in the 6th. So when Jerry Royce was with the Dodgers and they were home, it was pretty common for the Dodger fans to bring transistor radios with them. And Royce, in the middle of working, would get listening to whatever story Vin Scully was saying. Now, Vin always had a knack for not having a story straddle an inning, to the point where Royce would slow down between pitches so Vinny could get his story out. That's a tribute. Howard gets hit by the pitch. A 3-2 nicked him on a helmet, or a 3-0 pitch, and Lee Walls is now the tying run. So Hondo with actual speed on first. Really? Pitch to Walls. Base hit right side. So Moto will pick it up. Howard will stop at second, and the Dodgers have the tying run on for Roseboro, and nobody out here in the 6th. Bailey goes out to settle Odell down. Roseboro, base hit left center field. Howard will round third. Mays will pick it up, and they'll hold with nobody out. The bases are loaded for Larry Burright. I hadn't heard that one before. Tribe fan shares there was one story where Vin told the fans to turn down their radios because it was giving feedback in his ear. Burright can drive in a run. He's already driven home one today and struck out. He's 0 for 2. So Howard on third, Walls on second, Roseboro on first. Pitch to Burright. Got him. Those quirky southpaws indeed. Here's Koufax. Sandy will hit here. He's 0 for 2 with the strikeout. Odell and Koufax are not pitching a 60s style game. And Odell got Koufax on the inside corner on a 1-2 fastball. 2 out for Maury Wills. Maury is 1 for 3 with a run scored. He has a single. Odell, 122 pitches for 27 batters. 5 2/3 innings. 5 hits, 3 walks, and 8 strikeouts. Maury in the right center. Mays range is over, and the Dodgers will leave him loaded. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. We go to the 7th here at Dodger Stadium, San Francisco 5, LA 3. So it'll be the top of the lineup for Koufax here in the 7th. Sandy, his opening 27 on 114 pitches. 6 innings, 7 hits, a home run. He has walked 2 while striking out 6. Keene is 0 for 3. Back in the days when the Dodgers played in the Coliseum, I think that's where this story comes from. As Koufax gets Keene to ground 1 to Walls, 1 out. Was talking about an umpire, and Vinny loved to break that 4th wall, which is, you would think, someone as staid and conservative as Scully was, would not happen all that often. But he said, okay, on the count of 3, I want you to turn and sing happy birthday to the home plate umpire. It's his birthday today, and so a 1, a 2, and the umpire really was paying attention to what he was supposed to be doing. Willie Mays, speaking of paying attention, 2 for 3 with 2 doubles and a run scored. Go into happy birthday for the umpire, and it caught the umpire by surprise. Pitch to Willie. There's a fly ball left field. Davis in the corner. Tommy will track it down, and it's stretch time. It's not. It's 2 out. So it brings up Chuck Hiller. Chuck 1 for 3, and 2 runs scored. And Hiller gets hit. Now, Hiller and Koufax exchange looks. Remember, in 1965, Sandy Koufax hit Johnny Roseboro, right? Or Juan Marichal. These two teams have some bad blood anyway. And Roseboro charged the mound with a bat in his hand. That was scary. So, these two teams are not friendly rivals. Cepeda, the 3-run homer in the first, made it 3-0. Hiller on first. Line drive right field. Howard will pick it up. And Hiller moves to third. So runners on the corners. 2 out for Manny Mota, who is 1 for 2. He has singled, walked, and scored. Koufax and Roseboro trying to get on the same page. And Mota strikes out. Koufax got him with a fastball in there at the knees. Stretch time. We won't put the ad up. 5-3. Marichal attacked Roseboro with this bat while batting. Scary stuff. But these two teams were the Red Sox and the Yankees before Carlton Fisk and Thurman Munson would get into it 9,000 times. Jim Gilliam is 0 for 2. He has walked and scored. In the left center, Mays coming in, 1 out. Brings up Willie Davis, who's 0 for 3. Willie only stole 32 on the year. The Dodgers were a producer of runs by scratching out stuff. Pitch to Willie. Ground ball to Hiller. Chuck throws to first for the out. 2 out for Tommy Davis. Tommy is struck out twice and grounded into a fielder's choice for an RBI. 5-3 Giants, 2 out, bottom of the 7th. Odell from the wind. There's a base hit in the left center field. Harvey Keene picks it up for the out. So here's Hondo. Frank has singled twice, driven in a run, and scored. Tommy Davis on first. Dodgers have left on 7. The Giants 6. 5-8-2 for San Francisco. 3-6-1 for LA. Pitch to Howard. Got him. That's 9 for Odell as Howard swung on and missed the fastball. We go to the 8th at Dodger Stadium. No runs. 1 hit and no errors. It's the Giants 5, the Dodgers 3. So Ed Bailey, Jose Pagan, and Jim Davenport. And should anybody reach, we'll see what the computer does with Billy Odell. Bailey is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Koufax starts the inning with a ground ball. Burright behind the bag. Has to hurry. 1 out. A bang banger for sure. So that'll bring up Pagan. Jose is 0 for 2 with a walk. D. Scott Howard's favorite Vinny story involves obscure Dodger Luis Alcaraz. At one point, Vinny inevitably referred to the rookie as Louis Alcatraz. He immediately corrected himself, saying, "I should know, no man is an island." That's great. Koufax winds and deals. Pecan hits one to Walls, and it's going to get past him. So both teams have committed 2 errors. In fact, if you want me to do it, little number up the bag, and it gets past Walls. So Pagan reaches. Both teams have committed 2 errors. Here's Davenport. Jim is 2 for 3. He has singled twice and driven in 2. And I have no idea what's going on. It was a curveball inside. I think Pagan was going to try and steal and didn't get a good jump. Got him. That's 8. Swung on and missed on a curve. 2 out. So let's see what the Giants do with Odell. Billy has fanned all 3 times today. Not a breath of wind here at Dodger Stadium. If it was New Year's Eve or New Year's night, you'd be able to see the sunset over the San Gabriels. It is the reason why millions flock to California. It'll be Ernie Bowman to pinch hit. Ernie at 190, 1 homer, and 4 RBI. Got him. That's number 9 for Sandy. And look who's coming in. Don Larson. And if you know your Vin Scully history, it was Vinny behind the mic in the 9th inning of Larson's no-hitter on television. So how appropriate is that? Larson, 5-4 in 62 with 10 saves and an earned run average of .438. Larson in 62 is 32 years old. Fastball pitcher at 88 and a fly ball plus pitcher. He threw 86 in the 3rd innings, 83 hits, 9 home runs allowed, 47 walks, and 58 strikeouts. So kind of one of those kismet moments where it just kind of all fits together, like I said in the open, like a Venn diagram. Lee is 1 for 2. He has singled, walked, and struck out. So Odell in line to get the win, and I can't imagine I'm going to send Koufax back out there. Pitch to Lee, fly ball to left field. Harvey Keene comes in, 1 out. So here's Roseboro. Johnny is 1 for 2. He has singled, walked, and struck out. No stream tomorrow. We have a heat index warning out. Heat advisory, so the Mets and the Dodgers, which were supposed to have been today, will be Friday. Pitch to Roseboro. Johnny swings. Line drive to 3rd. Davenport's there for the out. What if we got the pinch hit for Burright? Oh, it's really just a whole bunch of nobodies, is it? Well, Duke Snider played in this game. And so to bring the Brooklyn part of it back home, here's Snider. 278, 5 homers, and 30 RBI. The Dodgers would just like him to reach base. Larson winds and deals, and Snider will do it. That's a single in front of Mota. And so Snider extends the inning. Hiller should have got that. Now, I won't sing Who Can Hit a Righty, but that's what you should be singing to yourself. And it will be Ron Fairley. And Larson's coming out. Stu Miller, whose claim to fame is being blown off the mound in an All-Star game, coming into pitch. So righty versus lefty here. Miller, 5-8 in 62 with 19 saves. Has a 4.12 ERA. In 107 innings, he allowed 107 hits, 8 home runs, 42 walks, and 78 strikeouts. And considering that the leadoff hitter is Harvey Keenan the ninth, this is Stu Miller's ball game. 59 appearances overall. 34 years old, fastball pitcher at 87, and a ground ball pitcher. So Snyder takes a healthy lead off at first. 2 out, bottom of the 8th, 5-3 Giants. Fairley, 278, 14 home runs, and 71 RBI. Pitch to Fairley. There's a fly ball to center. Mays is going to truck on over and make the catch to retire the side. So, the Dodgers threaten but do not score. No runs, a hit, no errors. We go to the 9th. It is 5-3 San Francisco. So Fairley stays in the game to play first. He's a 6. Gilliam moves over to second. He's a 5. Andy Carey comes into play third. He's a 3. And it's going to be righty lefty. Sears partner Ed Roebuck will bat 6th and stay in and pitch. 10-2 for the Dodgers in 62, 9 saves, 3.10 ERA. Ed obviously pitched for Brooklyn. 119 innings, 102 hits, 11 homers, 54 walks, and 72 strikeouts. He is 30 years old, a fastball pitcher at 87, and a ground ball pitcher. And Walter Alston used him 64 times in 1962. So Harvey Keene is 0 for 4. Mays and Hiller to follow here in the 9th. 5-3 San Francisco. Keene hits a slow bounder to Fairley, and Ron will take it to the bag himself, and they got him. So here's Willie Mays. Willie doubled twice. He is 2 for 4. 5 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors for the Giants. They've left on 7. 3 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors, and they've left on 9. Pitch to Mays is a high fly ball to left. Davis. Tommy will let that one hit the wall. Willie, is he going to dig for 3? He is. Wills throws to Carey, and that's a triple. So it's somehow appropriate on a day where we honor Vin Scully, who grew up a Giant fan. You want to know why? Because one day during the 1938 World Series, when Vinny was just a buck of a kid, and afternoon papers were still a major thing, he walked past one of the newspaper offices and saw the score of a World Series game between the Yankees and the Giants. And the Yankees, because they were phenomenal in the late 30s, pretty much took them behind the woodshed and beat them up. And Vin felt sorry for the for the Giants. And Vinny became a Giant fan. And Vinny's favorite player outside of the Dodgers was Willie Mays. And so how appropriate, as we pay tribute to Vinny, that Willie Mays goes off for 2 doubles and a triple. Dodgers playing in. Chuck Hiller 1 for 3. He has singled and scored twice. Base hit up the middle. It is 6-3 San Francisco. So that's the 10th hit for the Giants. Here's Cepeda. 3-run bomb in the first. So Hiller on first. Roebuck showing you why the name of the store is Sears. Cepeda has fanned twice. This time he grounds a single in the left field. Davis will pick it up. And so with one out, here's Manny Mota. Manny 1 for 3. He has singled, walked, and struck out. Watch Facebook, by the way. We'll tell you when and where, 8 o'clock tonight, but where our football tribute game to Vinny will be. It'll definitely be the Cowboys and the 49ers from 1981. And here comes Willie McCovey. McCovey must have gotten hurt. Only a part-time player in 62, 293, 20 homers and 54 RBI. 6-3 San Francisco. Hiller on second, Cepeda on first. Into right, Howard. 2 out. And Hiller will take third. Don't chance the air. So runners on the corners, 2 out for Ed Bailey, who is 0 for 4. Oh yeah, Vin called the Masters a few times too. We'll talk about that tonight when we honor Vin's other sports. Vin, I'll tell you this brief golf story. Vin's partner on NBC was Lee Trevino, and they got along quite well. And so during the Skins game one year, I think the second or third one, Trevino nailed a hole-in-one on the 17th hole, called by Vin Scully. Bailey stays in the game, and there's a base hit left side. Hiller will score. Davis will throw it back in, and Cepeda will take third. 7-3 San Francisco. And yep, it's a tribute game because the team is losing. Pagan is 0 for 3 with a walk. And he walked him. That'll bring up Jim Davenport. Jim is 2 for 4. He has 2 RBI and a strikeout. They are loaded. And Ed Roebuck wished he was loaded. He delivers, and Davenport chops one to Gilliam. Jr. throws to first. Fairley is there, and that's the inning. But the Giants get 2 runs on 4 hits, no errors, and they leave them stranded. We go to the bottom of the 9th. The Dodgers need 4 to tie and 5 to win. So Stu Miller will face Wills, Gilliam, and the Davis combo. Maury 1 for 4 with a single and a run scored. Pitch to Maury. Little ground ball to Pagan. Over to first. And Wills is out. So 1 out. So Jim Gilliam is 0 for 3. Jr. has walked and scored. I don't think Vin did basketball or hockey. He did skiing for Susie Chaffee, for crying out loud. Pitch to Gilliam. Ball 4. So Gilliam draws the walk. And that'll bring up the combination of Willie and Tommy Davis. Willie is 0 for 4 with a stolen base. Gilliam with good speed, but you don't want to risk getting thrown out now. And there's a ground ball to first. This might be 2. Cepeda will just take it to the bag himself, and it will be up to Tommy Davis to keep this one going. Tommy 1 for 4, has singled, struck out twice, and driven in a run. Ground ball to third, or short. Pagan deep in the hole. That'll do it. And the Giants win the first game ever that they played at Dodger Stadium, this time 7-3. McCovey was coming off a sophomore jinx, being sent back to AAA in mid-60. Wow. When Alvin Dark was hired the following year, he would only platoon McCovey in 61 and 62. Wow. Well, sometimes you can't get it right. 7 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors for the Giants. The Dodgers 3 runs, 7 hits, and 2 errors. Helps if I hit the right button. Odell gets the win. 7 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs all earned. He walked 3 and struck out 9. Larson with the hold and Stu Miller with the save. He got 4 outs and walked a man. Koufax, 8 innings, 8 hits, 5 runs, 3 earned. He gave up the homer. He walked 2 and struck out 9 in the process. And Ed Roebuck just, well, we won't talk about that. All right. Well, that'll do. It is a shame that the Dodgers didn't win for Vin, but Vin made us all winners over the years, and I really think that we are better for his presence. And as he said, he needed us more than we needed him, and I'm just going to say that is absolutely not true at all. The greatest ever to do it. And for now, I'm Ron Juckett. Thank you so much for watching. We'll talk to you later. Have a good day.